Hi folks, welcome to day 6 of the whole journey, or day 5, I'm losing track. We are playing Cobra Lash and we are transitioning to a dagger. We have been testing out some things, chatting to people, and all of the feedback from YouTube seems to be, try out daggers, go on, try out daggers, they're really good. So guess what, I am going to try out daggers, but first I need to complete the Uber Lab, right? So to do that, we're going to have to go through some trials. And this is the last trial I found. This was found through Global 820, which is a trade channel, well, I guess a public channel. Found them all myself, but the last one just wasn't popping up, so I went in and got it from that channel. So the Uber Lab, luckily we got basically we got an acceleration shrine, and I took out GMP, which makes things a little bit easier. At this point, I'm still using 2 claws, I believe. Or am I using a dagger? I think I'm using daggers at this point. I have swapped over and I gave it one quick test with daggers and it seemed no better, okay? But bear with me, it does get a lot better. So I've included some clips of like examples of how it's improved and I just thought I'd talk about it. Yeah, so the Uber Lab was weirdly comfortable, not on the traps, but actual damage wise it felt weirdly comfortable on the damage, which was nice. So that gave me a little bit of hope, and I went and did it with an Exile straight after my Uber Ascendancy. My Uber Ascendancy basically gave me move speed and 20% more damage if I've killed like a unique or rare or something like that. So I definitely noticed the move speed straight away. That was a nice change. And yeah, I thought I'd celebrate with an Exile at about level 78 or something, or 80, wherever I was. I can't remember at this point. Now, what's kind of been fun looking back doing these videos is normally I think to myself, oh, I never did anything on Path of Exile that day. I didn't really achieve anything. I just wasted like 3 hours and didn't really get anywhere. But because I'm making these daily videos, it's making me go back through the footage and it's making me watch what I did, because a lot of it is done kind of on autopilot. I didn't even realise I did this at Zeri. To some people, doing an Zeri early on would be like a big thing, but I've played so much PoE that I just completely forgot about it. And it's nice to be able to go back and look at footage and figure out, oh, I actually did like a lot of different things, and it gives me an opportunity to share the progress of the build. And I think you're enjoying it. I might be wrong, but I think some people are enjoying the progress, so I thought I'd keep making the videos. Now, as you can see, I've got Cobra Lash AoE, Plague Bearer AoE, which is ranked up a little bit and it's carrying me. And now you're seeing this little bit of prolif, and my tree is spec'd into daggers. Still really low on life, 3.6k, but my gear is very, very poor. And I'm now working my way through the Atlas. Now, I'm not going to bore you and show every single boss kill and every single bit of working through the Atlas, because I don't think anybody wants to see that. I will show some bosses, but not them all. But you can see the prolif is making things a little bit nicer, but this is my very first map and things haven't really, I guess, taken off yet. They're just in the very early stages. I've just put the Beanos on, but once we get some more levels, you can see, you know, the damage isn't amazing, but we're going into yellow tiers now and the damage is ramping up a little bit. We've got the Wither Totem, and the way I'm doing my Atlas is I'm going to PoEmaps.live, and I am basically, if I get a tier 6, I will trade that tier 6 over for one that I don't have. It just makes things really smooth and so much faster and less tedious than actually buying maps for like 2 alchemy orbs. So I highly recommend that website if you've not used it. Continuing on, we're now into like the, I think we're in the tier 7s and 8s, and the build's feeling a little bit better. The prolif is definitely helping the clear. And we're just sort of trucking through maps, putting maps in, and just basically trying to level up, get some life, get some passive points, and get into those juicy dagger nodes. And definitely would recommend, if you haven't done, switching over to daggers, because it only cost me about 11 regret orbs, which I had on me, and I think my guild lent me like 3 or 4, I can't remember, regret orbs. And as you can see, when you go through a map, the damage single target wise and all that hasn't really changed, but you just have to shoot a lot less, because as you can see there, it's like the prolif spreads. It feels like ED Contagion does, and that's so much nicer than having to shoot 800 times. Just shooting once and seeing the pack prolif down has turned the league from being somewhat unenjoyable to being, yeah, I can do this, I can enjoy this. And also I thought I'd show this because this was a nice belt that I got drop, and it sold for, I think it was 50 chaos in the end. It had 45 to basically each res, and you could have crafted like 60 life on it or 55 life or something. And yeah, I ended up selling it for like 50 chaos. It was pretty nice. So after my build felt a lot stronger, you can see I've gained 200 more life just through leveling up at this point, and then I'm going to fix my gear, which I then get to 4k life. But I figured I'd show you, yeah, just how the pro lift works and rejoin up with some of my mates and play some party play. So again, we're doing another blighted map. This is just an example of how it compares, so you can go and check both videos of how the dagger variant compares to the claw. But for me, it feels like the dagger is just a lot better. It gives me the opportunity to craft an offhand dagger as well, with metallic, corroded, and aberrant. So that should be good fun, trying to craft a decent one of those. I know it'll be expensive, but it gives you something to aim for, right? And you can see that I'm not tanky at this point. My life pool is still really bad. My damage isn't incredible, but what it is doing is when I shoot, it gives me a few extra seconds whilst the poison is proliferating around to put more turrets up. So I think it suits the league mechanic. I'm not going to say one's better or worse, but daggers is best and but definitely better, you know what I mean? Like for the league mechanic, you shoot, the prolif happens, and then it gives you, even if it's just 1 or 2 seconds breathing room, it allows you to get a turret up, which is like crucial for this league mechanic. Coming up, I guess I need to upgrade all my gear to have way more life, and I need to start doing some anointing, which I guess will be interesting because I think they're very expensive, the things I want to go for. I've repurchased those gloves, which I found yesterday, for the Exile that I've sold them for, and I think they've gone down in price, but it's whatever. I'm going to keep them, and I'm going to try use them, and put maybe Constitution on them, which costs 2 exalts, because that's how much gold oils are. Or maybe I put flaying on them, or another dagger keystone, such as one that generates me endurance charges, which might help me become a bit more tanky. As you can see there, I've also put in a single Val Blight with increased AoE to help with a little bit of clear speed and slow. And I'm thinking I probably should put increased duration on there, to be honest, because the increased AoE isn't huge, but the duration might be nice, so maybe increased duration would be better. But you can see you shoot, it prolifts to all the back, and it's just a lot more fluid playing the dagger variant. So yeah, I just want to say, you know, thanks to everyone that's been enjoying the content. Seeing the comments and the action on the channel just makes me want to make more videos. That is true. It's not all about views and all that stuff, but it is nice to, when you make a video, see feedback and be like, oh, like, people actually liked that, I will make another one. Because a lot of the time I'm making content for basically nobody, and if you're a human, that's pretty uninspiring, and you think to yourself, why am I bothering? But when you see good feedback and you see people discussing and helping you and giving you ideas, it definitely motivates me to make more videos. So as you can see, the league mechanic is still an absolute mess, and it's laggy, it's crazy, it's turrets everywhere. This is a tier 2 map as well. This is a tier 2 map. We've had about 10 bosses spawn. You can see there, you know, there's 3 people, so the health is pretty big. My damage isn't the best, but you know, it is what it is. It now feels more like a build. It feels like a build I can map with, and maybe I don't complete the full end game with this build, but it feels like I can now actually play the game and enjoy it somewhat, whereas with the claw version, I was beginning to just straight not enjoy the whole league because the lack of poison prolif was, I guess, pretty miserable. I'm not saying that you need to swap to daggers to progress. I just think you would benefit a lot. It definitely was a game changer for me. So yeah, this is what we're doing now. I guess tomorrow I'll probably look at upgrading some gear. I will maybe get some enchants, or I guess they're called anointments, on my rings. Maybe that makes my turret stronger. And I guess that's it really. If you want to see more, there are ways to support me in the description. I am going to be playing a little bit of Gears of War 5 So content may slow down, it may not, it depends how much I'm enjoying that game. I know I did bash it when I made my video, but I'm giving it a second shot. So yeah, thanks for watching everybody, hopefully you're having a good day, catch you later.